Hey everyone, it's Leandra from New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program, and today for our Trainer Tip Tuesday, we're going to talk about collection. And to help me demonstrate the concept that we're going to talk about, we have a video clip here of Carson Can, who's a really wonderful 7-year-old off-the-track thoroughbred in our training program in Lexington, and you can see that suppleness, contact on the bit, they're not exactly his favorite thing, so we're working on that. And you can see the really developed muscle on the underside of his neck. And that might give you a little hint to understand that he is used to having an upright head carriage. He has a really strong sense of feel through his mouth, and so we know that that's something he needs to work on both mentally and physically, that accepting of aids and contact. And we get the question on how to work on collection with these guys, and collection is really an ultimate goal. So when you think about the training pyramid, which you may have seen before, sort of a classic example, which is a good place to start. There starts at the very bottom, rhythm, then relaxation and suppleness, then connection and impulsion and straightness, and at the very, very top, there's collection. So in order to get to that, we've got to work on those base pieces. And Carson he's 7 years old, he knows the basics, he's spent a lot of time on the track, he knows how to move, so we're working on this retraining process, and as such, he has the ability to tackle a few of these things at the same time. That's what we're doing. So we're really focusing on relaxation, suppleness, connection, and some impulsion too, and I'll show you how in just a moment. So I've asked him to halt, I'm asking him to back up, and I really want that genuine feel of ease, even if it's for a split second. And this is where timing and the release of pressure, the timing of that is very important, so you can make it clear what your ask is. So the second that I felt him release, I asked him I gave him the release of pressure, which you always want to start with as little as possible, and then you can apply a little more as needed, and also pulsing that pressure rather than a pull, which just makes them want to brace on you, is ideal. So pulsing and just add a little bit as needed. So we're going to try to keep it as light as possible because we don't want him to brace against us. We want to promote relaxation and suppleness, which will get us up that pyramid towards collection. And when you get that feel, that give, I send them right out. So I ask them to really try to engage that hind end. It doesn't have to be perfect. Everything we're doing is just baby steps. It's not going to happen in a day, but I send them off. I ask for that energy, and that's ultimately going to help to strengthen the hind end because we're asking them to come back from the front. We want to strengthen the hind end to get that more of a balance, and it's going to really help with impulsion down the line. So again, we're stopping, we're backing up. Carson is a little chatty with his head here, but I'm just keeping consistent. And the very moment that I felt a give, I allowed him to move off, and I wasn't totally happy. It was kind of a half-baked give, so we're going to ask again, but rather than just keep pulling against him, you can give him a moment to think about it and do it again, and there we go, we have another release. So in doing this, we're making it really clear what the ask is. We're not asking for perfection by any means. We're just trying to get some elasticity and suppleness, the things that will help him to relax overall. And in doing so, we're working on the acceptance of the bit and the aids. And you can see my reins are not super tight. I want him to stretch down. I want him to develop those new muscles. And we all know if you've been to the gym and you're trying to work on new muscles, that is hard work. So there's a lot of take and give here. There's a lot of communication that needs to happen, and just building the basics of this communication change, kind of the ABCs of our ask, before we can really ask for the real sustained thing. So let's have another go at it. There's an easy stop. And hey, that's a pretty good give. I felt like that was pretty genuine. So there you have it. Hopefully, when watching this and hearing a little bit of the explanation, it'll help you to have some tips that you can apply at home, and hopefully we'll build on this some more to talk about the full line of collection and what it takes to get there. But thank you so much for joining us today for our Trainer Tip Tuesday, focusing on collection. Tune in for future videos, and we'll see you then.